All right, everybody. It's Louis Porter Jr. I'm driving and eating. I gotta work late tonight. But apparently today is a big day for WOTC. Dropping that OGL bomb on everybody. All right, it's looking awesome. So, WOTC has now released an OGL for 5E. Now, I'm going to seem all genius here for a second, be all super smart that I am. See, a lot of you didn't know that we were working with Mike Meilers on converting our Machine Smith for 5E, because I kept saying, I might want to try this 5E, see where it's going. See if anything works. So a couple weeks back, we asked him to do it. He's done it. He updated him. They sent the final copy to me last weekend. I didn't have a chance to update it yet. Under the layout, I guess I'm out of my teeth. But it's ready to go. I'm going to be laying it out probably this weekend and releasing it probably on MLK. So there you go. The Machine Smith will be live for 5E on Monday. And I'm just saying, okay, right off the bat, some interesting things that came out of this whole thing. Number one, you can sell products from WOTC IP. Okay. I'm not going to talk about that one first, because that's a whole big conversation in itself. I'll put that over here for a second. Let's just talk about the OGL and what's going on. So, I did a quick glance at the OGL. Looks like pretty standard, but it's what I expected. Well, here's something I noticed, but I don't think anybody's mentioned this yet, but something I noticed. There's no icon or symbol for 5E OGL. There's nothing like pressed that says OGL. Like, 3.5, they had a D20 mark, and it was all D20, that kind of thing. But there's not that for OGL 5E. Or I haven't seen it yet, or maybe I'm missing it. If I'm missing it, please someone notify me. Please tell me we've seen it. Please, link it up. Tell me I'll link it up in the video. But I didn't see it. And I mean, I was looking for it. And I talked to a couple of guys I know. They're like, yeah, they didn't see it either. So, that's interesting. So I was like, okay, there's no symbol. The one that I'm going to be using is the one that Fat Goblin made, that I think is a good looking logo and makes a lot of sense. And it just thought it was really interesting. It's like, wow, there is no logo. So someone's going to have to make a logo for it, or someone's going to have to use the logo and have it become the accepted logo. I took it from what I thought was cool. I will not be designing one. I designed one for the OGL. If they're still using that one, great. Keep using it. It's open. So there you go. So you got all this going on, which this is actually really kind of interesting. So now you're going to see people, the shift. You're going to see this massive shift, because now, well, on the OGL, I think you're going to see a lot of people start making products just to see if there's any money in it. And there will be money in it. There's always going to be money in it. And it's already established through drive-through RPG, which is a great business move for them. Can't get mad at them for that. That was a great coup. Snatch it up early. Control that market. Control the, you and the big boy are now brother and sister in this relationship. It's a good deal. That being said, I'm gonna sell 5E stuff. I'm gonna sell it because I think it's gonna help me make sales. So I'm gonna sell it, expose people to more things. We might even do a Neo XS conversion for it. So there will definitely be stuff from us. Now let me jump back over to the I'm gonna call it DMG, but it's Dungeon Master's Guide. I think I can't, or Guild. I think it's I can't. Just DMG is what I've been referring to it. Now that is interesting. They're gonna let you make stuff for Forgotten Realms, use some of their IP, and let you basically sell it. Which I think this could be big. The downside to this is also kind of big. So let's talk about the big elephant in the room. If you're gonna sell in the DMG, they're taking 50%. I mean, whoa, 50% of sales. RPG Now is 30 or 35, but 50% is like, wow, man. That's a big cut. That's a big cut. You want to put in WOTC's backyard? You want to pay their license and stuff? Well, you got to pay for it. And that's how you're going to pay for it, at 50%. So that's the first hit. And I was like, ouch, that hurt. The second part to that, I heard that, if you make something for in the DMG and they like it, they can use it. So I'm like, whoa. So they're going to do a lot of free IP farming. Because that's what that's about. If you make something that's really cool that fans are relating to and fans are liking, they're going to pick that bad boy up and say, whoop, we should be using this on our thing. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. So the cool thing is that not only are they making money off you selling it, if it's good enough, they're going to snatch it up. So I don't know how that's going to affect your sales, but I'm assuming that will kill your sales. I just assume that. That's what, if the official guy takes from the unofficial guy and makes it official, well, hey. But this also makes the unofficial guy maybe a little more popular, maybe? Possibly? There's a lot of different ways this can spin out, which I think is going to be great. I think that's going to be just as a business person, that's going to be interesting to watch. And, once again, the 50% cut, that's huge. But there will be people who are already involved in that. Now, another piece to that is interesting that I'm like, wow, they mentioned this, but I don't think anyone's talking about it yet, but I did. So you do the DMG to sell products, all right? They're all digital released, and people have said, well, how does this affect brick and mortar stores? And it kind of really doesn't. And then it came on and asked the important question. It's like, wait a minute. If you could only make digital products through drive-thru, and drive-thru has a print-on-demand system, are you going to try to tell me that no one, and I mean no one's going to attempt to make a print-on-demand book for 5e to sell in stores? I mean, I assume definitely on the DMG side, someone will try that. There's going to be someone out there who's going to do it. I mean, don't look at me. I'm not doing it, but someone's going to do it because the money potential is too high. So here it is. You make a book. The book costs, let's just say, $5 to make. You buy the book for $5. You're going to sell it at the store. You put a $25 price tag. Boom. That's going to happen. I think, or even the more radical idea. People will take stuff that they sell on DMG, go to CreateSpace or anybody else, and just make versions and sell them bootleg. And all of a sudden, these books just pop up bootleg. And people are like, oh, I don't know that book showed up that way. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And I think that's where it gets really weird. Because it's like, if you're a successful guy, let's go with, I'll go with Cobalt. I'm just thinking of them right off the top of my head. Let's go with Wolfgang and Cobalt. Wolfgang does a cool PDF. People love it, think it's great. He puts it and sells it through DMG. He can't ever make a book out of it. Okay. Or can he? This is, once again, these are a lot of questions that still need to be answered. And I'm like, and for Kickstarters, how's that going to affect it? Oh, you can get it from DMG, and I think this is going to be a really weird time as a publisher. I think it's also going to be interesting because I think there's going to be a gold rush. Let's just call it like it is. There's going to be a massive gold rush for people who are doing 5e stuff or are thinking about doing 5e stuff. They're on the cusp. And there's guys like me who just happen to be ready with product at the exact right time. I'm like, woo, product for me. I'm ready to go. I lucked out. Today is a perfect news date for this because by Friday, I'm going to have the product up for sale, all the art, all full color, ready to go. Ta-da! And probably be earlier, depending on how I feel tonight, but whatever. I'm just saying that this is a kind of a really great period to be. So, and then there's the other side. Here comes the other part to this too. See, there's so many sides to this thing. It's crazy. There's going to be tons of new publishers who pop up, and there will be a massive influx. And I put a line on, which I thought was funny. I think it's funny. I put a line on a comment on one of the threads I was reading on Facebook. I said, "Oh my God, it's like 2002 all over again." And people are like, "Yay!" They're giving it likes. But I was meaning it in a negative way. Because most people don't remember what it was like in 2002. Most people we're not there. I can tell you 3 people who were there at that time period who are I can say still active in the industry. Myself, Gare Skarka, and Phil Reed. We were there in 2002. And 2003 is, I think, when Monty finally came aboard. And 2004 is when everything started to blow up. So, 2002 was crazy. It was the Wild West. And now, what makes it even crazier is like the big name has come back to sell. You can sell their products legitimately through them. So you're going to make money. You're going to make money. You're going to add in that whole Forgotten Realms side to it. That's going to be even crazier. So you're going to even add, cooler stuff. It's just going to, like I said, I'm really, really excited. Okay. So here's a couple ideas for all you guys who are starting out or not sure what to do, you're not, you hear about this, you're like, okay, this is interesting, but how does this really help me, Lewis? How can this help me make money? That's really the name of the game, which is always the name of the game. How can I make money off this? All right. First, start a company. Get yourselves together. You got some stuff you guys have been, and I know tons of guys have been having tons of stuff they've been doing for Forgotten Realms forever. So you guys are going to toss all your stuff up there. Here's the thing I would tell you not to do. Don't put the best of your best, super best stuff up there. The reason being, very, very simply, if it does become what I think it's going to be an IP farm and cool ideas get taken, if you have a cool idea that works really, 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 really well, they're going to grab that. It's going to help them, it's going to help them make money. Also, the other side to this is that you could also get picked up as, as an imprint of WOTC to do development. There are several companies doing that right now when 5e first came out. Cobalt was one. I know some other ones that were hidden that weren't, I'm not going to talk about them because they're under NDAs, and they, got calls from people to, hey, we're going to be doing 5e. Would you think about supporting it? That kind of thing. So that was a lot of good. That stuff was going on in the back scenes. I mean, when you know people to tell you all the good stuff. So he's got to know the right people to talk to and get the core stuff. So a lot of that was just going on. And I think you're going to see a lot of people who become small, like, development houses for WOTC and stuff like that. So that's going to be kind of interesting. I think the quality of books is definitely going to shoot up because, I know a lot of the Pathfinder guys who worked very hard, who did very well at Pathfinder, want to make more money. And, WOTC is the big kid in the area, and you got to see if it's worth making money on. I mean, I'm testing one of my better selling products in a field that I know that they'd like something like this. So do I think I'll do well? Yeah, I think I'll do very well. I think people will try it out. I think people who haven't tried me out will try it out because of that. I think people who know me from Pathfinder are like, oh, it's pretty good, and they do play 5e, they'll want to have a version. So I think this will be a decently well seller for us. I have another product in mind now for 5e that I'm probably going to develop at the same time I do the Pathfinder version of it, just to see how well parallel development does. And I think that's going to be interesting. Yeah, I just think there's a lot of cool ideas. If you're a company just trying to start out and trying to find ways to get in and, like I said, get your friends together, develop small stuff. You can go the very traditional route that I think is a great way to grab market share, but it's tougher over the long period. But as a short period, I think it's great. Is, make small products, put it out every week, and you become that guy. You become the guy that releases a small product for 5e every week. And you got to keep it up. I mean, Rogue Genius did it for years, and Legendary Games just did it for Pathfinder. They did it for a very long time. Every week, bam, 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 bam. And you can grab a lot of market share of that very quickly. I mean, it's very, very quick. It's very, very aggressive. The downside to it is that you can easily burn out, too. I mean, you can easily, there's only so many products you can do. So you go, okay, I'm tired. You need to relax. You need to rest for a second. So the burnout rate is incredibly high. Incredibly high. That's what it is. But it will give you market share if you can keep it up, and if you can transition from maybe going weekly to maybe going bi-weekly or even monthly, you can still keep that hold and have a good percentage. But once again, everybody and their mother is going to be out there right now trying to do product. Everybody. I mean, I always said it's always crowded, so it's no big deal. But man, it's about to get recrowded again. And then that doesn't even include on top of some of the even major companies that may come back in. I mean, I'm talking small third-party guys, 1 or 2 man groups. But there might be like larger companies, legitimate companies that are like, hey, 5e, I think we can mine this for some quick cash. Boom. They make a product. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Point blank. I got a Kickstarter coming out, 6 weeks? One of the threshold goals I'm going to think about is doing, hey, let's do a 5e version. If you do a 5e version, how much is that going to be worth to us? Well, a lot. I mean, that's going to be a big seller. So, will we be doing a 5e version? Probably. I didn't plan on doing it, but now probably. That's how weird it is. We're going to be, thankfully enough, we're working on the Pathfinder version now. Out of the 3 main adventures, 1's been done, 2's very far in development, and 3 is getting started. Then some other minor stuff coming into play. But once again, we probably will do a 5e conversion for it. You know, if the threshold goal gets high enough, which I think it should, we're going to do it because it makes a lot of sense. It's smart to do, and it's just a better business idea. So, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's crazy. So crazy. I thought, this is gonna be a quiet little time, but man, oh man, WOTC comes in with the power play. Didn't see that coming. All right, let me finish this off. I'm gonna try to upload this. I'm not even gonna do my beautiful tags in the front and back. I might later, but this is like so raw and so new. I want to just get this out on YouTube as fast as possible so people can start talking and we can start debating and see where this goes. All right, I'll talk to you all later.